Aloha mermaids and mermen, this is Meagan Mermaid, author of the forthcoming book Mermaid Mystery School and the forthcoming oracle deck, the Mermaid Empowerment Oracle deck, which I'm using today for our reading of June 25th through July 1st. And we have a big week ahead of us. Mars is going retrograde on Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday, depending on where you are. We have a full moon in Capricorn. And over the weekend, starting on Friday, we have Mercury moving into Leo, and then as soon as it moves into Leo, it will be trine to Chiron in Aries and square to Uranus in Taurus. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But overall, this week is really asking us to open up to forgiveness, to open up to a new way of doing things. Mars in retrograde is always a time to reevaluate how we've been taking action, what our desires are, where we are in relation to them, how we go about achieving our goals, and what needs to change, what our beliefs are about taking action, and how we can move forward. And this is a time too where we need to evaluate where we've been from the last 2 years that Mars was in retrograde. Last time Mars was in retrograde began in June of 2016. So think about that. Where have you gone in these past 2 years? What's changed for you? And what are you ready to reevaluate now? What limiting beliefs are ready to be released? Those are all great things to think about as we move into this week full of changes. So the first card for Monday and Tuesday is Forgiveness with Peace the Turtle. And it says, forgiveness brings the gift of peace on earth. And this is so beautiful as we're moving into Mars retrograde, because Mars retrograde is a time where action really starts to slow down. And during that time, if things aren't happening the way that we want them to, it can be easy to blame, right? If we're not feeling good about ourselves, it's easy to project onto others. It's easy to want to say that it's someone's fault that this isn't happening. Or what we can do if we're not projecting it outward is project it inward. It's our fault. We're not enough. We're not doing the right things. We're the problem. And all that does is create more blocks from our abundance and our success. So this card is reminding you on Monday and Tuesday to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for every single action. Forgive yourself for everything that you've ever done prior to this moment. Forgive everybody else. Let it all go. Know that we're all doing the very best that we can. And so with Mars in retrograde and in Aquarius, this is a great time too to forgive yourself for any times that you may have followed the crowd rather than choosing to follow your own heart. And forgive yourself for blaming others for doing that too. We're all doing the very best that we can. And when we see that a brother or sister is treating us in a way that's not from love, it's not an opportunity for us to judge them, because that's only going to block us from our miracles. It's an opportunity to show love even more, because they're separate from that. They've forgotten the truth. And so forgiveness offers everything that we could ever want. The Course in Miracles teaches us that forgiveness offers everything that we need. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. Forgiveness is the key to joy. So start Mars retrograde off right by forgiving yourself and forgiving others. And let's seal this mermaid empowerment by saying this 3 times. Forgiveness brings the gift of peace on earth. Forgiveness brings the gift of peace on earth. Forgiveness brings the gift of peace on earth. And so it is. We're bringing that forgiveness in and starting the week off right. So then as we move into midweek, we have our full moon in Capricorn, and we also have the sun opposing Saturn. So it's a time where we might want to feel like cozy. We want to be at home, which is what Cancer wants to do. Cancer wants to feel safe and cozy and in his little shell. And then Capricorn wants us to be out into the world making a difference. So when these two are opposing, you might feel a little bit more on one side where you maybe want to work, and maybe you're focusing too much on that and you need to spend more time with home and family and rest. Or you might be feeling too much in that comfort zone, and the universe is going to kind of have to push you out so that you can accomplish what you need to accomplish. Sometimes we can get comfortable being uncomfortable, and it might be scary to go out and make that change. But the universe is saying, if we want to feel our happiest, then we need to take those risks, go out into the world, and continue to follow the voice of our heart. And the card for midweek is Cycles of Life. I honor the cycles and rhythms of life. So full moons are always a culmination of something. It's a time where anything that needs to be looked at is kind of brought up to the surface because the moon is at its brightest, so it's going to shine on any places where there might be secrets or things that we need to address. It's also a time of completion. So where can you acknowledge yourself for these last 6 months since the new moon in Capricorn? Where can you acknowledge the work that you've done and what's been created and what's come to a completion? With the full moon in Capricorn, we're often rewarded for the hard work that we've put in. So think about what you've been working on in these past 6 months and open to those rewards from the universe. But at the same time, like we were talking about with that Sun opposing Saturn opposition, we can sometimes feel harsher energies because in the collective, there might be more self-doubt or more criticism or more guilt. So if we're in a lower vibration, we can be picking up on that. So we have to honor that that's where the earth is and do something about it by spending time in nature, meditating, and figuring out how to channel and honor those cycles and rhythms of life. So if you need more rest, take it. If you feel more energetic, do that. But acknowledge that just like the moon has its cycles of full moon and new moon and everything in between, that the earth itself has so many cycles and rhythms. And if we want to be in flow, then we need to be aware of those cycles and rhythms. And then we're working with the energy of the earth rather than opposing it. So honor where you're at and honor this energy by allowing yourself time to integrate. That's the biggest word that I'm feeling for midweek is integration. So rest, make sure you're getting that energy and time to be alone and contemplate. You might want to write or journal or record your thoughts, but just honor where you're at and be open to the gifts that this full moon will bring. So let's seal this empowerment in by saying it 3 times. I honor the cycles and rhythms of life. I honor the cycles and rhythms of life. I honor the cycles and rhythms of life. Beautiful. And that mermaid empowerment is now sealed in. So as we move into the weekend, we have Mercury, our minds, moving into Leo, which means that we're more open to play and to have fun and to follow our passions and create and celebrate and inviting others to do the same. And so the card for this weekend is friendship. And it says, friends inspire and lift me higher. And it's funny because Mercury is going to be square to Uranus, which represents friendship. Uranus is all about groups and networks and people. So this is a time to connect with like-minded friends, connect with your group, connect with your tribe. Mercury is also going to be trine to Chiron this weekend, which means that if you're spending time with friends, if you're listening, if you're opening up and sharing your story, opening to this opportunity to heal and comfort each other, then you and your friends can really heal a lot. But of course with Mercury and Leo, healing is always about playing, about having fun. So figure out how you can include your friends in a fun activity this weekend. And know that healing doesn't have to be all like shadow work and really dark stuff. Healing can simply be having fun and raising your vibration. And in doing so, a lot of things will naturally begin to fall away as that joy brings us more and more into our authentic nature. So spend time with friends, honor your friends, reach out to your friends this weekend, thank them, ask them how you can support them, be generous, be loving, and realize that we couldn't do it without a little help from our friends, right? So let's finish this week with the last mermaid empowerment, and let's say this 3 times. Friends inspire and lift me higher. Friends inspire and lift me higher. Friends inspire and lift me higher. And it is complete. We've received our 3 mermaid empowerments for the week. And if you're interested in the services that I offer, including getting a reading of your very own from the Mermaid Empowerment deck, please visit my website at meaganmermaid.com and make sure you're on the mailing list at meaganmermaid.com so that you can support Lizzie and I, Lizzie Luna, who is the artist of this fabulous deck, in making our dream a reality of getting these printed and out to all of you. So make sure you're on the mailing list to stay up to date on all the details of this forthcoming project. And until next time, angel wishes and mermaid kisses. Love you all, mermaids and mermen. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.